Hey guys, I'm Audris and I'm really excited to be part of Lit Ladies. I've always wanted to be part of a channel, a collab channel on YouTube, but I've never really found who to do it with. And so I was really excited when Raquel asked me if I wanted to join her group. So I'm gonna be here every Wednesday, or not every Wednesday, I'm gonna be here every other Wednesday with a new topic, and each of us is gonna discuss our views or our opinions on that topic. So this week we decided to do some tags to introduce ourselves instead of just talking. And so this would create some sort of guidance. We decided to do the name game book tag and the 7 deadly sins tag. I know that most of these, or all of these books are YA books because that's mainly what I read, and I do want to branch out. So I thought that joining this channel would really help with that because I know that Raquel and the other girls all read different genres, romance, adult, and I want to be able to say that I tried different things this year, and I think this channel will really help me achieve that. So for the first tag, the name game book tag, I'm going to show you guys some of my favorite books that go with my name. So my name is Audris, and I think I already said that, but I hope I already said that. So for A, I chose Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins. This is one of my favorite contemporary books ever, and I really doubted that I would like it because of the cover. I know I let myself be deterred by the cover, but after reading what was within the cover, I found that it was a fantastic story. I love Etienne. I love all his friends. I just love Stephanie Perkins' writing. Oh, and also I'm a French minor, so that's a little tidbit that I wanted to slip in there. The second book is for you, and I picked Unearthly by Cynthia Hand. This is one of my favorites. Angel series. I actually think that I haven't really read a lot of angel books, but this one is so emotional. The second book is just, it's so good. She knows exactly how to pull your strings of your heart, and I really love this series. If you guys are looking for a good angel series to try out, this is the one. The third book is D, and I picked The Duff by Cody Keplinger, the designated ugly fat friend, and the characters in this are just so unique. I love Bianca and Wesley. They each have their own little quirks. I really enjoyed this book more than I thought I would. I thought it was overhyped, but it definitely wasn't. And I will read anything that Cody Keplinger writes after this book. It was really hard for me to find a book that started with R, so like Raquel, I chose a book with the author's first name started with R, and that's Rochelle Mead, and the book I chose for it was Frostbite. This is my favorite book, although I've only read the first 2 books in the series, and I didn't really like the first book at all. Like, I thought it was slow and boring, and it took me like 3 tries to finally get through it, and I know I'm gonna get hate for that, but Frostbite, definitely. And I chose If I Stay by Gail Forman for I, and this one is really emotional. If you're looking for an emotional read with characters that develop really well, this is one for you. The movie is coming out this year with Chloe Grace Moretz as the main girl, so if you haven't had a chance to read this one, pick it up. The final one I chose for S was Spellbound by Rachel Hawkins, and again, obviously, this is one of my favorite series, that's why it's in this name game tag. I know if I ever need a pick-me-up, I can pick up the Hex Hall series and it'll do the job because it's just so much fun. Like, I don't think I've ever had so much fun reading a series as much as I did with this series. The first book, the second book, and third book are all fantastic. There's no second book syndrome. It's just great straight through. The characters are witty, the main character is hilarious, and the guys are swoon worthy. Now I'm going to continue on with the 7 deadly sins tag. So let me look up the questions on my handy phone. I got this case for my birthday and I love it. The first question is, what is your most expensive book and what is your least expensive book? This is really, really broad. So what I decided to do for the tag is choose my most expensive book and my most inexpensive book that I bought in January. So for that, my most expensive book, which I didn't really spend a lot of money on, was Just Like Fate. I bought it 50% off at Books A Million and it was like $9. And then I also bought Pushing the Limits. This would be by Katie McGarry. This would be my least expensive book this month because I got it for a penny on Amazon and all I had to do was pay shipping and handling. That's not really part of the book. So I got the book for a penny. The second question is, what author do you have a love-hate relationship with? And that would have to be Gemma Halliday, the author of Deadly Cool and Social Suicide. I adore Deadly Cool, and this was one of my favorite books from the year I read, but sadly Social Suicide didn't do it for me. I thought it was too over the top, people dying left and right. If people were dying left and right around me, I would probably hide myself in a bunker until like 3 years passed or something and I felt like I could come out. Definitely love-hate relationship. And she's coming out with a third book, I'm not sure when, in this series, but she's co-authoring it, so we'll see how that goes. The third one is Gluttony. What book have you deliciously devoured over and over with no shame whatsoever? And that would have to be I'd Tell You I Love You, but then I'd have to kill you by Ali Carter. I started this series when I was like in middle school, late middle school, early high school, something like that. And I read this book so many times because every time a new book was coming out, I reread the first ones so that I could be ready for the last one. And it took forever for this series to finish. It just finished last year. So yeah, I graduated high school like 5 years ago. So yeah, I've reread this book so many times, and I even read it last year too, and it was just as good as the first time. I love the series. The next question is Sloth. What book have you neglected due to laziness? That would have to be, I know guys, The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. I really have no excuse except I'm so lazy because it's pretty thick and the writing is pretty tiny, so that's mainly my excuses for not reading it. The next question is Pride. What book do you most talk about in order to sound like a very intellectual reader? And I don't really like this question. I don't really do that. I don't read to like shove it in people's faces. But I did read a book for my I did read a book for my sociology class, and that book is A Long Way Gone, Memoirs of a Boy Soldier by Ishmael Bey. And I do talk about this book a lot, but not to rub it in people's faces. I talk about it because I think people need to know about the problem going on and about what happened to these children, because it's really, it's awful. It's just awful. I mean, there's no other way for me to explain it. And I think a lot of people need to know about this, so I would love it if more people read this book. And the final 2 questions are lust. What attributes do you find most attractive in male or female characters? Well, in male characters, I want them to be funny and witty. Their personality really has to jump out at me, and I need them to stand up and defend, or not defend, but fight alongside the strong female character. So yeah, that's what I mainly look for in a guy. Actually, I really like the sidekicks I've noticed. Styles from Teen Wolf and Seth from the OC are 2 of my absolute favorite characters ever. So yeah, sidekick, it's like a check mark in my book. In female characters, I want them to be strong and fight for what they believe in. I want them to be smart. I want them to be able to like stand up for themselves and like fight and be witty and just like get things, understand them. Perfect example of this is Smart Girls Get What They Want by Sarah Strohmeyer. She did such a great job of creating smart leadership girls, and I applaud her for that. I love this book and I think it has fantastic female characters. The final question is envy. What book would you most like to receive as a gift? And right now, I think the book I would most like to receive as a gift is probably an ARC also. It's probably Rebel Belle by Rachel Hawkins. If you can tell, she's the author of the Hex Hall series. I've read all her books, including her standalone book, and I just love what she does. I love her characters, everything I'm looking for in characters. So Rebel Belle is super high on my list right now. It's like, I need it. I just need it. It has to happen. Please, I want it. So that's it. That's all the questions for these 2 tags that I have for you guys. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for tomorrow's video. And I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Bye guys!